Hi guys, good morning. Just wanted to share a very specific thought with you. The necessity of validation, to be okay with validation, balancing out with the necessity of challenge, having people who challenge you. So to break it down, we're gonna look at it in the lens of your inner child or your inner essence or the little boy or little girl inside you. And then the typical archetypal mother and father energy, right? So the mother energy is the validation, is the support, is the nurturing, is the listening to you no matter what you say, no matter what mood you're in, and just holding space for that. The father energy is, I understand you feel that way, we're going this way. We're gonna put you in soccer or gymnastics or whatever, like we're gonna push you because we want you to grow. You know, father energy is go on that rope swing. You might fall off. No, well, they wouldn't say that, but like you won't fall off. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. You know, like taking risk. So on the one hand, validation, on the one hand, challenge. So validation sees you where you're at, honors where you're at, and kind of soothes you. And if you have just that, you won't grow. You might feel good, but then there's what's called the tyranny of the weak process, which means that as you get soothed, you know you'll get soothed. And because you've thrown out growth and challenge, then the bar gets lower and lower and lower. So you're like, well, I didn't even get up today, but that should be okay. And you should validate me for that. And like, you know, as your friend, I might say, well, I would want to support you, but not in the way of just saying, yeah, it's okay that you didn't get up, you know, depending on how bad the problem was. On the other end is challenge. A lot of people, a lot of guys I've talked to in men's circles have heard things from their dad like, oh, you didn't do good enough. It wasn't even like, oh, good effort. But man, I really think you've got more in you. It wasn't like that. It's focusing just on the critical side, just on the challenge side. So having just the challenge and how that manifests in later life is kind of soulless ambition, you know, or like aggressive ambition. Having the challenge aspect, the toxic father energy so the father energy without the mother energy becomes toxic. And that's challenge. And that's being pushed, right? That's kind of that would be like, kind of like your inner critic coming out, right? The inner father coming out. So to have the balance sounds a little bit like, look, I see where you're at. I see where you've come from, right? I hold this space for you. I understand it's tough. And let's get going. Let's get you further. I leave open the door, the opportunity for you to grow further. So it's acknowledging some kind of failing or some perceived weakness or some where you haven't achieved what you know you could achieve, and then leaving room on the other side of that for still challenging, still motivating, still pushing yourself. You know, and at times that takes over, and at times the other side takes over. When you're going through a grieving process or something like that, you know, you're probably more likely going to want validation. You don't want someone to say, well, get over it or get beyond it or come on, let's buck up, you know. And then if you're going through a course or a class and you're trying to reach the finish line, or if you're running a marathon, challenge is going to take over, you know. So I'm not saying it's not always, you know, goes a little bit out of balance, but so hope that helps with someone's clarity today. Have a great day.